The age-old question. How strong is every Shounen main character? It's with pride, justice, and many tears along the way, compiling the massive list of Shounen main characters that I'm proud to present to you. An ultimate video with facts, logic, and a smidge of honesty. Honestly describing and factually power scaling every main character in Shounen. Here's what I wanted to say before I realized there are over 1,500 Shounen anime, so I've devised the ultimate and slightly ingenious, if I do say so myself, evil strategy on how to tackle this beast. That is correct, it's going to be a multi-part series, depending on if you like it. So, I was gonna cover a lot of the OGs. You know, the Gokus, the Narutos, the Luffys. That'll be the main topic of this video. I'm gonna keep power scaling them until I have no patience to do more, and that's when I'm gonna take a little break to work on other stuff until I work on part 2, if you like it. The main purpose of this channel is to provide content that A, you guys want, and B, stuff I want to make, and it's not in that order, unfortunately. Feel free to subscribe. Let's start power scaling the Gentlewomen. This video was sponsored by Black Desert Online, one of the most popular MMORPGs of 2019. Now, this is a game I have played before and I have enjoyed a lot, and this video is being specifically sponsored to talk about a new feature called the Shadow Arena campaign. Now, Black Desert Online gets you everything you want in an MMORPG when it comes to leveling up, going on quests, getting new gear, strategizing, all that jazz, but Shadow Arena is essentially using the game mechanics of the game to play a battle royale game. Eat your heart out, Fortnite. 50 players are dropped into this big board, and you're sent in as a shadowy spirit, where you can take the possession of whichever class you desire. There, you look for equipment and level up some skills. There are also monsters roaming around for you to defeat and get more powerful, where everyone's levels are equalized. Everyone goes in with absolutely no equipment. It's a fair game, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. You're playing this fantasy game that you know and love in a battle royale mode where the game mechanics still apply on an even playing field. This is one of the most fun battle royale experiences I personally had. Thank you so much, Black Desert Online, for sponsoring this video, and on with the video. To truly figure out precisely how powerful Goku is, I feel like comparing him to other characters is in order. As we know, Frieza was powerful enough to destroy the entire Saiyan planet. So whatever race Frieza's from, he's stronger than a base Saiyan. I think that's pretty safe to say. Now, Goku is stronger than Frieza at Super Saiyan, meaning Super Saiyan is just a level beyond any of those Saiyans inhabiting the planet. That's obvious already. Believe it or not, that Saiyan then becomes Super Saiyan again, going to Super Saiyan 3. He eventually becomes Super Saiyan God, so he can defeat the God of Destruction, the guy who, in the first episode of Dragon Ball Super, tapped a table and wiped out half a planet. Yeah, eat your heart out, Thanos. And then at Super Saiyan God Blue, he was just able to barely defeat Krillin. That's right, I think it's safe to say that humanity's pretty much at the top of the food chain here. Krillin didn't train nearly as hard as Goku throughout the story, but he's still able to compete with Goku Blue head to head. So I think it's fair to say that Saiyans are pretty much at the bottom of the totem pole, but they have potential. Now, Mastered Ultra Instinct is just a level above and beyond all that. So when he's fighting Jiren, we easily get to understand precisely how powerful the guy is. It took Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, which, let me remind you, is way more powerful than Goku God Blue, to fight on even terms with Jiren. So I'd be so bold to say, don't take this out of context, that this makes Goku way stronger than Krillin. Like, not even in the same battlefield anymore. Yeah, I know, that's pretty impressive. But then by the end of the Tournament to Power arc, we had Jiren, who was still powerful enough to flex his muscles and blast away Android 16 and Gold Frieza, but that very same Jiren at that very same level of power was fighting base Goku. No, not Super Saiyan, not Super Saiyan God, not Ultra Instinct, but base Goku on a level playing field. Well, Goku was having help from Frieza, but this is the Frieza that Jiren was able to defeat by flexing his muscles. Not much of an adversary. So, if base Goku is strong enough to fight Jiren, a character strong enough to defeat even Mastered Ultra Instinct to Goku, I think it's safe to say that Krillin, who's clearly stronger than base Goku because he's put up a fight against Goku Blue, is more powerful than Jiren. Oh, and Frieza? Don't even give me a lecture about Frieza. That bitch got clapped by Goku God. Even Krillin could do better than him. Oh my God. Goes to show that the very same Frieza that wiped out the Saiyan race and destroyed their planets and stuff is weaker, far weaker, than Krillin is right now. And Master Roshi, the guy who hasn't trained at all since Dragon Ball, he's also stronger than that Frieza that wiped out the Saiyans, which means Master Roshi right now, the guy that was weaker than Goku by the end of Dragon Ball, is stronger than the entirety of the Saiyan race. But Goku's clearly surpassed all that, being that base Goku at this point is stronger than even Krillin, so I think it's pretty safe to say that rating Goku's power 3 Broly voice actors out of 4 is not highballing him in the slightest. Next, we got Luffy. And what a beast this guy is. Let me tell you, across the One Piece world, we've had devil fruits of all shapes and sizes. All forms of really cool powers that different characters were able to possess in order to defeat their adversaries and make the series way cooler. One of these is the ability Rubber that Luffy possesses. And, well, he uses Rubber to the fullest by, turning it pink, making him super fast and strong. Or by blowing into his finger, making his fist a lot bigger, but somehow not just like a balloon, it also packs a hell of a wallop. Now, this is very appreciated because, as we know from a very young age, Luffy managed to defeat Crocodile, a warlord of the sea that was taking over a country, and Enel, a guy with a lightning logia that people worshipped as a god. Now, Enel had haki, or as he called it, mantra, but Luffy was still able to defeat him, even though he was haki-less. Yes, Luffy has managed to defeat logias without haki. That's how epic he is. And no, how dare you say that? It's an oversight on Oda's part. That's laughable. Oda can't make mistakes. No, you misunderstand the true power of Luffy and his devil fruit, the Gamu Gamu no Mi. A lot of people think that it makes him a rubber man, and, well, Luffy thinks so too. That's why he says it every, 4 episodes during the East Blue arc. Oh, did I say every 4 episodes? Silly me. I meant 4 times an episode. But Luffy obviously is not purely a rubber man, because I don't know what rubber men you could think of that just go into gear 4th and they're, now unstoppable tank monsters. Dude, it turns you into rubber. I don't see any other characters in the entire One Piece bend physics around their devil fruit, except for Luffy, which is why I believe Luffy's devil fruit all along was not the Gamu Gamu no Mi, or Shanks wouldn't be so disappointed. I mean, it just turns you into goddamn rubber. No, Luffy managed to eat some sort of physics-bending devil fruit that seems to have given him rubber powers, but in actuality has done so much more for him. How does he blow into his finger to get 3rd gear anyway? His body isn't big enough to contain the amount of oxygen he needs to be blowing into his finger, which, by the way, does not have a hole in it and is also not hollow. And might I remind you, it's also not full of air when it punches its opponents. It's like a goddamn wrecking ball. To all those pseudo-intellectuals that say Luffy just has the power of a rubber man, and to all those even less than pseudo-intellectuals that think that Oda would have, God forbid, included a plot hole into One Piece, this is Goda. Goda! You're double wrong. Even people that awakened their devil fruit doesn't have crazy hacks powers like Luffy. That's how badass the guy is. I'm so glad I'm getting around to doing this video explaining power scaling of anime protagonists. People just don't seem to understand that power scaling protagonists is different than power scaling everything else in anime. I mean, devil fruits are pretty much assumed to give one power to the dude. It could be awakened, it could be tweaked to the nature of the element, but at the end of the day, it's one power. And then you realize how foolish I was. I wasn't incorporating main character genes into the formula. Yes, main character genes is basically new forms. Oh, you'll see a thing or two about new forms in this video. I mean, Goku has more freaking forms than anything ever. I mean, Goku's essentially the physical embodiment of time to go into the next form. So I think it only makes sense that if you incorporate the multi-form genes that most main characters possess into Luffy, yes, his ability is rubber, but it's also rubber that can turn his hand into a wrecking ball balloon. Yeah, I guess that's what we're gonna have to go with. And people have the audacity to call it a plot hole. Guess I'm gonna have to do an analysis video on why all main characters in anime just power up through augmentation forms, because it's a pretty valid topic. Before moving on, I just have to give Luffy a rating, and I'd say he deserves 7 One Piece moon theories out of 8 on to Naruto. And by the girth of Tsunade's titties, do I have what to talk about here? So in case you were unaware, Naruto blew my mind. He also has 1.5 million forms. We got Base Naruto, Sage Naruto, Chakra Naruto, Chakra Sage Naruto, Sage Pix, Path, Sage Chakra Naruto. Super Kurama Susanoo type Naruto. Well, you get the idea. He's a main character. He has lots of forms. Sasuke's a pseudo main character, so he doesn't really have a lot of forms. No, his eyeball has a lot of forms. Are you following the trend here? We got base Sharingan with 1 floopy, 2 floopies, 3 floopies, the Mangekyo Sharingan, the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. All you gotta do is be an Uchiha, awaken the eyeballs, kill your best friend, kill your brother, steal his eyeballs, pop him in, learn to use that, you get 14 billion more jutsus. The point is, he's a pseudo main character, he only has pseudo 1 billion forms. But back to scaling Naruto. Maybe I'll do Sasuke in a future video, feel free to subscribe. We're gonna have to work our way backwards here. So, Naruto at just Sage Mode managed to defeat Pain. Very good. Pain, with only one of his buddies, bodied Kakashi. Alright. Kakashi was stronger than most of the 6 paths of Obito, because he fought the Obito Jinchuriki 6 paths, so he was stronger than them. They were faster than Killer Bee, because when Killer Bee fought them, originally, they were pretty much throwing him around. And I'm sure you're aware, because I used this feat of Killer Bee's before, but Killer Bee was fast enough to stop one of Minato's attacks that was going faster than the 4th Raikage when the 4th Raikage attacked the 4th Hokage, and it stated that the 4th Raikage is light speed, making Minato faster than that, Killer Bee faster than that, Obito's Jinchuriki faster than that, Kakashi faster than that, one of the Pain bodies faster than that, and Sage Mode Naruto faster than even them.
Goes to show, doesn't it?
But the beauty here is where the eyes do not see, because this is only Sage Naruto. He of course gets far stronger, learning chakra mode and stuff. So that's all very nice and cool. However, if you've been subscribed to me long enough, I've done a video on how Naruto's power scaling has changed my life, so I figured it would be unfair to basically make this a rehash of that video. No, I will be taking a different turn, and I will be power scaling the genius that went into Kid Naruto in the original Naruto. That's correct, this self-proclaimed underdog protagonist who, due to hard work and the right mindset, will make it far in life. Yes, he's truly an inspiration to us all, because this is the kid who failed the ninja entrance exam 3 times, but still pushed forward, still managed to make it, because he worked hard. This kid preached for hard work, showed that hard work defeats natural talent, and that's why we see that absolutely none of his fights were ever won due to hard work. He fights Haku, wins with 9-tailed fox chakra. He fights Neji, wins with 9-tailed fox chakra. He fights Gaara, wins with 9-tailed fox chakra. He fights Kimimaru with 9-tailed fox chakra, proceeds to fight Sasuke using 9-tailed fox chakra. So this guy is a definite high-grade advocate for hard work. Unlike Lee. Lee actually put in the hard work. He found a loophole in the ninja power system altogether. He learned the 8 gates when everyone was working on ninjutsu, and he became a total badass because of it. We saw him fight Gaara and lose to natural talent. Yeah, that's right. I have a feeling Neji was right all along, and poor Lee is destined for the wheelchair. I know, very sad that that's the moral of the story, but that's kind of how it seems. In any case, Naruto did win all his fights through natural talent, so I personally would rate his power 6 of Black Zetsu's evil master plans out of 7. Wait, what's this? It appears there's breaking news about Luffy. I'm so glad that I took the chance to keep my news feelers out while I was recording this video. Apparently Luffy is faster than light speed because Foxy shot photons at him. Photons are light particles. Luffy was able to dodge the photons. Luffy faster than light confirmed. This is a fact. I don't want to hear debate in the comments, because if you disagree, you're just wrong. Not conjecture or subjective opinion. This is actual fact. Thank you for tuning in to this breaking news. On to Jotaro Kujo, the protagonist of JoJo Part 3. So power scaling Jotaro is pretty fascinating, because if you look around correctly, you can see so much about this protagonist that otherwise you may not understand. Like, for example, remember his star finger technique, where like his finger stretches out and strikes things like faster than bullets so he could hit things at distances? Well, he forgot how to use that later, so we're only power scaling him at his strongest, and at his strongest is when he was able to stop time, but unfortunately at that point he forgot how to use star finger because the writer forgot about star finger, which would have made him dealing with the rat a lot easier. Speaking of him dealing with the rat, this is the only proper way, in my opinion, to power scale Jotaro. So Jotaro in part 4 lost to a rat with a stand that could shoot little darts. So to actually understand how powerful this rat is, I think will hold the key to finally understanding how powerful Jotaro is. Characters that we know Jotaro defeated are Yoshikage Kira. Even while Jotaro was like all bloodied up, he still managed to knock the hell out of that guy. So it's safe to say that Jotaro Jotaro is way stronger than Yoshikage Kira. Now, Yoshikage Kira, who's weaker than Jotaro, was about on par against a unintelligent cat plant that can shoot little air bubbles. So air bubble cat plant, approximately even to Yoshikage Kira, which makes cat plant weaker than Jotaro. Now, if you remember, cat plant, while just a cat, which is basically the mobile version of cat plant, was killed by accident by Yoshikage Kira's wife. So that means Yoshikage Kira's wife is stronger, even by accident, than Yoshikage Kira himself. Now, she is a woman, or should I say, whammon, in the JoJo universe. And we know what Araki thinks of whammon. Now, I am not stating any of my own personal opinions here, but in the JoJo universe, if you look at Jotaro's mom, you know, from the Joestar bloodline, truly a powerful bloodline, she developed a stand, and the stand almost killed her. That's right, she wasn't even strong enough to have a stand. They had to go gallivanting around the entire world, all the way to Egypt, to try to kill Dio to undo the stand that Jotaro's mother was getting, because the stand was gonna kill her because she wasn't strong enough to even have a stand. Yes, that's right, the rat is strong enough to have a stand. This whammon is not as strong as the rat to have a stand. I feel like this is very important to note, because another whammon that didn't have a stand, mind you, because she wouldn't have been able to hold it probably, because stands are way too strong for women, managed to defeat the cat, which was on par with Yoshikage Kira's power, which was weaker than Jotaro. Now, this cat eats rats. Yoshikage Kira's wife, stronger than Jotaro, confirmed. I mean, there are so many things that kill rats. Cats, fleas, Logan Paul, all these things would slap Jotaro. And to properly and accurately power scale his time stop power, we first have to understand what Zawardo is. Dio's Zawardo power is not the ability to stop time. Everyone keeps saying it's time stop. I don't know where they're getting this inclination. Clearly, Jotaro is conscious in Zawardo of stopped time. If he's conscious, then time's not stopped, he's just frozen. That's right, Zawardo creates an alternate universe where it gives the perception that time stops, even though certain people are conscious within this world of stopped time. I mean, if one guy stops time, then time should be stopped for the other guy and should be able to kill him. It's not like, oh, since I could stop time for 5 seconds and you could stop time for 2 seconds, that means 1.5 seconds into my stopped time, you can move for the next 2 seconds, and then for the next 1.5 you can't. So no, that's not how stopped time works. That's not how Zawardo works. Jotaro cannot stop time. Zawardo's power just makes everyone around him brain dead for 2 seconds. That's the whole thing. And against characters like Luffy or Kira's wife, who are already brain dead, it would be basically powerless against them. So I think it's safe to say that Yoshikage Kira's wife is the pinnacle of power levels in JoJo's, because Jotaro is basically stronger than every other character introduced up till part 4. I would only rate Jotaro 1 JoJo reference out of 3. I mean, I don't know what all the hype's about, but anyway, moving on. The next character I would like to power scale is Yukihira Soma from Shoukugeki no Soma. So I know you're thinking right off the bat, this guy's a chef, okay? It's a shonen manga about cooking. How can I power scale him against the shonen greats? Well, there are 2 points to his power scaling that I would like to emphasize, because in the right conditions, this guy can take down some low-tier Dragon Ball characters, mid-tier Naruto characters, and literally everyone in Toriko. So, to kick things off, we need a speed feat. And as we know, while he's chopping vegetables, people around him are saying, I can't even see his hands move. They're moving so quickly. As we know, sight works because light is reflected off anything collected within our retina. Light moves at, hold on to something because this will blow your mind, light speed. So that means his hands are moving faster than light, and he is a master of the blade. Now, Sanji from One Piece, for example, also a master chef, he doesn't use blades because of his morals and whatever. But the point is, he ends up fighting Noodle Guy. I love how Sanji's opponents are all total losers. But he ends up fighting Noodle Guy, and he'll use knives against him because since he's Noodle Guy, he can chop up noodles with knives. That's morally okay or something. I don't know. That's not the point. I don't judge Sanji, okay? But as we know, with the blade, Sanji, who's also a chef that can also chop vegetables at light speed, can take down mid-tier One Piece opponents. So I think it's safe to say that Soma, with a weapon he's familiar with, will also be able to do heavy damage to mid-tier opponents in most shonen anime. Now, as far as his special ability, because as we know, speed in anime legit means freaking nothing, because like in Bleach, everyone can teleport. That's how fast they're moving, and all of a sudden gashes appear across all their opponents and blood flies out, and it's like, oh my god, I couldn't even see him move. Not the point. Speed means nothing in anime. That's what I'm trying to say. You can dodge light speed attacks, but also you can be too slow to dodge a punch. I mean, anime wasn't made by physicists, okay? So speed alone alone, not exactly gonna win him too many fights. His other ability is the ability to make anyone who ingests his food orgasm. And as we know, orgasming opponents cannot raise their defenses. That is correct. All he has to do is cause orgasms in his opponents. To stun them, he can just force them to sniff the aroma of most of his dishes, and that wafting aroma will paralyze them in pleasure long enough for him to hurl some of his food into their mouths, causing a full-blown orgasm, basically incapacitating them. Now, most anime are sexist in a way that orgasms only befall women, but Soma is an exception to the rule. He is truly a man of culture, and he will cause orgasms in men and women without prejudice. Truly an inspiration to us all. Now, can you imagine a fight between shonen characters while one of them is in the middle of an orgasm? Honestly, they don't stand a chance against their opponents. They can't focus chakra, harness ki, freaking move anywhere. They're basically ducks sitting, waiting for slaughter at the hand of his butter knife, which, when plunged into his opponent, will cause severe damage. Now, especially because I'm calculating shonen protagonists, as we know, literally every single one of them has incredible character and characterization. So, like, they're all completely different. They're from different writers. They all have different personalities. Like, Luffy's quirky. He likes eating a lot of food. And Naruto, he's quirky. He eats a lot of food. And Goku, he's quirky too. He also eats a lot of food. In case you haven't noticed, fan base, if he's up against a shonen protagonist, all of them eat a hell of a lot of food, and they will instantly get into orgasm mode. Easy pickings for the Soma. And just in case you can't wrap your mind around a fight scene including orgasming opponents, I mean, I don't completely blame you for not being able to wrap your mind around that. It's not like most of us have seen that before. So here, I will show you a Japanese game show where people try to sing while being jerked off. Yes. Not so easy to sing, is it? Imagine trying to fight a light-speed opponent! Yeah, that's why I would rate Soma 5 foodgasms out of 5 on the power scaling scale, and he is the most powerful shonen protagonist I have spoken about today. I mean, Goku, Luffy, and Naruto would all eat his food preemptively, not expecting him to pull any moves when Soma is in it to win it. He's gonna come up with the most underhanded, out-of-the-box spice shiest recipes ever, completely fooling his opponents since that's part of his game, so he doesn't mind fooling them. The three of them stand no chance against him once they already eat his food, because, let's just say their knees start wobbling at that point. His only actual opponent is really Jotaro, because Jotaro is clever and would not fall for the food ploy, immediately sensing the upcoming orgasm. That's why Jotaro is one of the greatest anime characters of all time. He can sense orgasms a mile away. And then it just comes down to pure power scaling. Soma's light speed feats and mixing enough spices to create, like, nuclear weaponry or whatever Soma does. I mean, he comes up with this cool stuff. Don't ask me. I'm no chef. Against Jotaro, a guy who lost to a rat. Yeah, I think we're done here, boys. Soma takes the big fat W on this one. Let me know in the comments if you want episode 2 covering 5 more shonen protagonists, and then eventually telling you which is the strongest of all of them. The answers may deceive you. This is the first time I tried something quite like this. I think I did a pretty good job because, as we know, power scaling any character, if you crunch the numbers hard enough, they're all freaking light speed, so you can't really lose with a light speed rating. Definitely subscribe for more wholesome, educational, and important content like this. Yeah, you won't find it anywhere else. Wow, that's the first honest without quotation mark thing I said all day. Damn it. Leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a like if you learned something, and leave a like if you're frustrated with me altogether. Let me know the 5 shonen protagonists you want to see in episode 2. Maybe Gon, Deku, Asta, Ichigo, and Natsu. That's an interesting roster. Anywho, let me know. Links in the description to my Twitter. Feel free to follow me there. To my merch. Feel free to pick some up, and to my Patreon. Huge thanks to all the patrons, especially Steve. You're the MVP this time, and definitely way cooler than Gremlin. Sorry, Gremlin, just spitting the facts here. All patrons are invited to the Discord server, where we have a great time pissing each other off. Mostly pissing me off, but hey, kind of walked into that one when I started a Patreon Discord server. Have yourself a most wonderful evening, and remember to stay weird, fam.